So it looks like me and you are going to be doing a deep dive down into the rabbit hole. So we're going to be going over a lot of information. So just recently, Rockstar reported this on their website. Pavel and a former FIB officer turned independent contractor are going to be coming into the game. Now, what we're going to be talking about here is who the hell this FIB agent potentially, or officer, excuse me, is going to be. We got a lot of information to go over, so try to stick with me here. So the first FIB character that we're going to talk about is going to be Steve Haynes. If you don't know who Steve Haynes is, then obviously you haven't played story mode, because Steve Haynes was actually introduced to Michael the first time in story mode through another character named Dave Norton, which we'll talk about Dave Norton in just a second. So Steve Haynes is a major ball player in story mode because why? He's got the boys doing lots of illegal activity, from kidnapping to murdering to other little mini heists and other things like that, that basically they're working for the FIB because of Michael's foul up over there at Martin Mondrazo's house. Now, when you reach the end of story mode here, you're gonna have three options, okay? Number one, you're gonna be able to kill Michael. Number two, you're gonna be able to kill Trevor. Or number three, you're gonna be able to kill Devin Weston. Now, if you choose to kill Michael, Steve Haynes actually stays alive in that line. But then that would mean that Michael would end up dying in that scenario right there. And just to let you know too, like, well, how are they going to bring back a dead character? Well, they brought back Dom, the skydiver, okay? Because I did research on that too. So Dom actually died in story mode, which should have ended his, story in story mode, which Franklin actually witnessed. Dom dying, jumping off of the Maze Bank Tower. Something went wrong and splat. And then from there, that basically ends Dom's life in story mode, but somehow GTA, Rockstar, brought him back for online, and then once again, like, just for the ghost exposed that was just in the game, Dom is the last person that we're taking a picture of over at the dam. So from there, just to say, like, could they bring back dead characters? Potentially, yes. Now, the thing is, though, too, if we choose option C, and we take out Devin Weston, then that means that one of the people there is going to go ahead and kill Steve Haynes. So Steve Haynes gets, like, assassinated, shot right in the face. I think it was Franklin that ended up doing that, not quite sure. We'll be going back to story mode shortly enough here on the channel. So that's like the first character. So could Steve Haynes be an actual character that they're bringing back into the game? Potentially yes, but then that would mean from story mode that you chose the unlikely probability of killing off Michael, which not a lot of people do. It's like literally the most unpopular choice in the game. The most popular choice is actually killing Devin Weston and then Trevor, and then Michael becomes last because Michael's one of our favorite characters. All right, so that basically is like kind of leaves it a little bit open for Steve Haynes, doesn't it? All right, let's move on to the next character. Now, to remember this next character, you guys are gonna have to step in your Deluxos and go back in time, all the way to GTA 4 with Niko Bellic. Now, there's a character in Grand Theft Auto 4, and at some point during the beginning of the game, Niko runs into a woman named Michelle, which is later on discovered her actual real name is Karen, who discovered even later on is actually an FIB agent. So Michelle is still going to be a candidate here in which possibly could be coming into the game. We've done a lot of research. Now, Michelle never died, okay? Like, during the whole process of, like, GTA 4, like, she was working for this supposedly undisclosed, government agency, which further on we come to find out it actually is the FIB. And if you guys don't remember too, that's like the first time that Niko Bellic runs into the IAA, which is ULP, which is in Grand Theft Auto 5. So they've already brought back characters from Grand Theft Auto 4 before. So potentially what could be happening, I don't really know if they're going to be bringing back Niko Bellic, but I would like to remind you that when we go ahead and create our characters in Grand Theft Auto 5, whether you guys remember this or not, we can actually choose Niko Bellic to be our dad in Grand Theft Auto 5. So, like, that's where Niko Bellic is potentially. He's probably a whole bunch of players' dads. He's basically probably getting busy. I think he's my dad in GTA 5. I'm pretty sure that I chose him because you get to choose not only your mom, but your dad as well, which is going to go ahead and, like, basically create the look of your character. If you guys don't remember creating characters a long time ago, yeah, that's what we had the options of doing. So I'm going to throw that out there. Michelle could be coming back into the game, and would Michelle be better than Steve Haynes. All right, let's move to the next character. So another character here that works for the FIB and is part of story mode, but not so big as Steve Haynes, is basically Steve Haynes' right-hand man, Andreas Sanchez, which is at some point during story mode, he gets shot. He gets shot like right in the face, and that's the end of his story right there. So I don't think it could be that dude, which is ties into, once again, Steve Haynes, which ties into one of the next characters we're going to be talking about, which is Dave Norton. Now, here's a couple things that we know about Dave Norton. Number one, Dave Norton did not die in story mode. So technically, Dave Norton could still be alive and online somewhere. Now, another thing too is Dave Norton is one of the main characters that we're going to be dealing with in story mode. So if you've played story mode, you know who Dave Norton is because he's one of the main dudes that you're going to be dealing with after Michael messes up and basically has a meltdown and goes to Martin Madrazo's house and wrecks it. Yeah, he owes a lot of money for that house. It was like $2.5 million or something, which made him go ahead and do the heist. And that's how he met up with Franklin. And that's like how the story all unravels and goes together. And then once again, like Dave Norton is, notified at that point and gets a hold of Michael. And then we find out more things about, Dave Norton later on, about what I just said earlier, that Dave Norton made a deal with Michael before the actual North Yankton heist. So the North Yankton heist, no matter what, was going to go bad, but it went wrong way, which is why we have the crazy story that we do in story mode, which is awesome. So I would say, yeah, Dave Norton could definitely be one of the characters that could be like the FIB agent that's coming into the game. But tell me this, is Dave Norton like a standout character, like super witty, super funny, super anything besides stupid in Grand Theft Auto 5 story mode? He's not really a character that I would want to have come back into the game, but hey, Rockstar could be doing anything, which is going to lead us on to more characters. So let's go. So from Michelle to Steve Haynes to Dave Norton, which is going to be one of our main characters from GTA 4 and GTA 5, mainly being Dave Norton. He's going to be like our main FIB dude who we have probably the spotlight on, which is one I wanted to introduce our last character potentially, which not a lot of people I've heard are even thinking about, which is actually Michael. Okay, let's not forget, before North Yankton, Michael got popped by Dave Norton, okay? So that means basically Michael was kind of working for the FIB and has potentially been like an informant of the FIB, because that all unravels during the whole story mode, that Michael has ties with the FIB and potentially could be another main character that could be coming into the game. Now they say an FIB officer that is turned independent, contractor, that almost spells out Michael to me. And if they don't give us Michael this winter DLC, then most likely they're hanging on to Michael for the summer DLC, which will be in 2025. So I still feel like they're going to be giving us Michael. And once again, if they don't give us Michael for the main, FIB agent, whatever, they could be doing that just to throw us off, because honestly, I've done a lot of research here, and there's not many people whatsoever that come up besides, once again, Michelle, Steve Haynes, and David Norris, besides, a couple other small names, but they don't stick out whatsoever. But still, that doesn't mean that we're not getting some FIB agent from, I don't know. But as far as I went back is basically GTA 4, but that doesn't mean that potentially there's not going to be, a new character coming into the game. Just like Dax doesn't come really from anywhere that we know of, right? But somehow just magically appeared in the city, and with Dax, it kind of felt like we should have got Trevor instead, but that's just my personal opinion. So honestly, you guys, I would say that I'm putting my money on Michael, but that's just me. So you're gonna have to let me know down in the comment sections below, who do you think the FIB agent is going to be that's going to be coming into the game that we're going to be working with Pavel? Because if it's not Dave Norton, and it's not Michael, and it's not going to be Steve Haynes, because Steve Haynes, basically, if Steve Haynes is alive, then that means Michael's dead. Because we chose the most unpopular one where Michael ends up dying. I don't think that GTA is going to end up doing that. I think we're actually going to be getting, Michael at some point. Like what I said, if not with this DLC, then the next summer's DLC, which is going to be probably most likely the last DLC here in Grand Theft Auto. So other than that, at this point, I'm going to be putting my money on Michael, because Michael for the last DLC would be the best And you have to tell me realistically, you're excited that Dave Norton is coming into the game. Get the f out of here. No way, dude. Dave Norton is one of the more annoying characters in GTA 5. If you're going to bring back anybody, you're going to give us like maybe Dave Norton and then later on Michael. But if we don't get Michael, then there's going to be a lot of upset GTA fans if you're going to end this game with not giving us Michael. Because once again, let me talk about this for a second. Back in about May 2015, Trevor was introduced into Grand Theft Auto Online for the very first heist of series funding or something like that. Series funding A, I don't know what the hell it's called. Whatever, you know what I'm talking about. That's where Trevor, all right? Franklin, my man, dude, only was introduced way later in 2021 Christmas. So it's like 3 years from Franklin, and we're looking at the end of GTA 5 at this time. It's gotta be Michael. If it's not Michael, I'm gonna be one disappointed player. I can honestly tell you that. If they give us something like a returning Steve Haynes and or like a Dave Norton, which both those characters were a-holes in story mode. Didn't like them, okay? If you're going to bring back a likable character, you're going to bring back Michael, and you're going to bring back a lot of awesome nostalgia probably from, you know, just dealing with Michael and stuff like that from story mode, which is one of the more favorable characters in the game. Which, by the way, everything wraps around Michael. The whole story wraps around Michael. If there was no Michael, there would be no GTA 5. So just think about that for a second. Other than that, if you guys enjoyed this video in any way, make sure you hit the like button on the way out. That helps my channel. Think about subscribing because that's going to help you out. Go check out more videos because I told you to. And thank you all for watching and supporting my channel. My name is GRAVESIGHT. Hope you enjoyed what I've come up with here. And make your decisions, please, and let me know who you think the FIB agent is going to be returning into Grand Theft Auto 5 this winter. But other than that, Green Alien, and I'm out. So, peace.